Hi there. In the previous session, we have seen what are swaps and what are its features and then its types. So in the types, we elaborately discussed about interest rate swaps, right? In interest rate swaps, we have seen how interest rate swaps are priced and valued and also its features. Now, in this session, we'll continue the remaining types of swaps. That the first one is currency rate swaps. First of all, what is a swap? Swap is nothing but an underlying asset or a financial instrument that is exchanged between two parties for financial instruments. Means, suppose if you are exchanging interest rates will be exchanged with the other party. Suppose if currency rates or currency will be exchanged between the two parties. So like how the second type is currency rate swaps. So in this currency rate swaps, so the exchange of cash flows between the two parties would be different currencies. Okay. If you see, if you compare with these interest rate swaps and currency rate swaps, so both are same. In interest rate swaps, interest rates will get exchanged. In currency rate swaps, currency rates will exchange. So that's the difference. So almost all the features or the things, the mechanism that we use in interest rate swaps is as same as currency rate swaps. So currency rate swap is nothing but exchange of cash flow between counterparty counterparties takes place in two different currencies. Means one currency is exchanged with the other currency. Since two currencies are different, uh, only the term currency, because of this currency we are exchanging, uh, it is contrasted with interest rate swaps only because of that factor only, right? So currency swaps covers all types of risk. If you see some kind of default risk or any other risks, we have seen market risk or stock market risk, all these risks, currency swaps covers all types of risk. So it is a way of converting liabilities or assets from one currency to another, right? It is very easy for us to convert. Either it might be asset or it might be the liability, but it is one of the way to convert into other currency. And it also reduces some kind of financial cost for the counterparty. See, if you are doing with if you are converting liabilities or assets into other currencies, sometimes you will have a financing cost, will be charged in order to convert that. So it would be reduced by using currency swaps. So currency swaps are nothing but exchange or the cash flows between the two parties is a currency rate, and it covers all types of risk, and it converts liabilities or assets into other currency. And also same time, it minimizes the financing cost in order to convert it into other currencies. Now let us see an example. Let us see these currency swaps with an example so that it would be very clear for you. See here, I'll explain you a mechanism. Take two firms, right? So an Indian firm and a US firm. Suppose if they exchange the two parties here, the currency exchange will take place between Indian firm and a US firm. Now, Indian firm may pay interest in the form of dollars, and US firm may pay interest or exchange in the form of rupees. So this would be called as self transaction in between Indian firm and a US firm. So India would pay in the form of dollars and US will pay in the form of rupees. Now, how these liabilities or assets of one country to another country will be converted. So that's what the point we discussed here. Swaps is a way of converting liabilities or assets from one currency to another. So let us see that mechanism, how it will be, right? So now take, I'll explain this in three instances. So the first instance here is uh, we considered Indian firm and US firm. So in case of Indian firm, with respect to Indian firm, we discuss first. Indian firm needs funds for its US operations, right? Suppose a firm in US, a firm in US, which is Indian based company, need funds in order to do operations in that particular country. So what it will do, it will raise the funds, right? So funds raised in rupees should be converted into US dollars to acquire the asset in that particular country. So though it is operating in that country, it will raise the funds and it has to convert into US dollars. Suppose if the value of the currency, if the value of the rupee is increased, then what would happen? The Indian firm may receive lesser profit in rupees. So that is the reason. So the liabilities and income should be converted into other currencies in order to minimize that loss, right? Lesser profits. Suppose same with respect to US firm also. US firm also needs funds for its Indian operation. So what it will do, it will raise the funds. So it will raise the funds in dollars and it has to convert into Indian rupees to acquire the asset. Suppose if the dollar value decreases, if there changes in the decreases, then it will reduce. Then the profits will be reduced in dollars. So that is the reason that US firm also wants to convert its currencies. So if you see, to overcome this loss, the percentage of loss in the profits, so both US and India will undergo currency rate swaps. So means instead of converting all these things in that country itself, they used to swap the currency, not to make to cross the border, right? So in between they used to have an exchange between US firm and Indian firm. So the reason behind that existence of currency rate swap is to overcome the loss in profits. Okay, so that would be the mechanism. Suppose if it is US asset which is in dollars, so it would be converted into liabilities, rupees in liabilities and interest. So like how for US firm also. So this is the mechanism that a currency rate swaps uh, will be used in order to overcome the loss in profits. Okay, so that is the main reason for its existence. The main reason for its existence is converting liabilities or assets from one currency to another. So I think you understood this particular point. It is a way of converting liabilities or assets from one currency to another currency through this mechanism. So it is explained in three instances with respect to Indian firm and with respect to US firm, finally just clubbing their views and getting into a conclusion. And now coming to pricing and valuing currency swaps. So how currency swaps will be priced? So we value and price currency swaps on same lines as the principle of interest rate swaps. As I already mentioned you that, so the only difference between the interest rate swaps and the currency rate swaps is the exchange medium. So there the interest rates will be exchanged, here the currency rates will be exchanged. So uh, they both will work on same line or same principle in order to price and value. So currency value of cash flows of them, first of all, to know that swap value, currency swap values, we have to find out the domestic currency value and foreign currency value. Suppose if I consider the domestic currency value as VD and foreign currency value as VF and spot price is S, then the value of swap is VS is equal to S into VF minus VD. This is the formula in order to calculate the currency swaps. Okay, hope you understood this. So this is the formula. You have to find out the currency value or the cash flows of domestic currency and foreign currency, and the foreign currency should be multiplied with the spot price at that particular time, and then finally finding out the value of the swap VS is equal to S into VF minus VD. Now let us go to the next type of swap, that is equity swaps. Equity swaps is just similar to interest rates and currency swaps. So the movement may not be determined. The payment is also not known in advance. The difference between these and these. So we can't predict the movement, and also we can't find out how much amount that we are going to pay in advance. Okay. So equity swaps, a swap in which two parties agree to exchange a series of payment, at least one which is determined by the return on stock, portfolio or index. On the other stream, the cash flow can be a fixed rate. The cash flow can be a fixed rate, floating rate, or determined by the value of the another stock. for you to understand clear, the exchange medium here is stock equities. Okay, means stock or equities of one party to stock or equities of other party will get exchanged, right? Suppose if one is holding IBM and other one is holding Microsoft shares, instead they'll exchange IBM shares to Microsoft and Microsoft shares to this IBM. That's all. So finally, they may check positive or negative payments, and accordingly, they may finish that daily transaction. Okay. The other stream, the other features that are involved in these features are equity swaps are somewhat different from interest rate and currency swaps, as we here clearly mentioned, and the swap payment is determined by the rate return on stock. Since stock returns can be negative and payment can be negative, so the upcoming equity payment is never known. Here the features, the movement may not be determined and the payment is not known in advance. So upcoming equity payment is never known. So how much we are going to pay for that, it is never known. At the same time, for this exchange of stocks from one party to another party, sometimes the stock returns can be negative. If it is negative, the payment also will be in negative. Okay. And how it will be priced means same, by using the principle of present value. So the present value of equity and the present value of the floating. So how will you get this present value of the equity means n into sigma I equal to 1 to n si minus 1 by si minus 1 into di. So where t is valuation date, n is here n is notional principal amount, I is cash flow, D is discount, and S is spot price. You all know these values, right? So you can substitute and you will get present value of T. T is nothing but the valuation date for that particular date. So like how present value of the floating for T is nothing but the valuation date and all these. So N into sigma I equal to 1 to M Fi plus S into TI dA. So here the new terms that you came across with this TI and DA. So let us see what are they. N is notional principal, I is cash flow, D is discount factor, and S is floating spread. Now TI is accrual period of ith cash flow, accrual period time, and F is the forward rate. A forward rate also can be calculated by using this formula. So if you substitute all these, and finally you will get the value of equity swaps. And next one is commodity swaps. Commodity swap. A commodity swap is a type of derivative contract that allows two parties to exchange cash flows dependent on the price of an underlying commodity. As I mentioned you, in commodity, uh, as I mentioned you swap about a swap here, the exchange of medium or one party to other party, what it is exchanged is the commodity. What is exchanged is commodity. Okay, a commodity is a type of derivative contract that allows two parties to exchange cash flows dependent on the price of the underlying commodity. Here, the price based upon the price of the underlying commodity. So, the underlying commodity can be any of the commodities. So, in commodity markets, what will be exchanged usually? So, see, steel, iron, silver, or you go for these bullion market, gold, silver, copper, and agricultural markets like this rice, maize, jowar, all these things. Okay, all these things will be exchanged. Commodity swaps are customized and it is over the counter deals. We all know it is a over the counter deals. What is a over the counter deal? What is an over the counter deal? So which is over the counter, OTC means, so which is not a standardized one, which is done outside the stock market. So commodity swaps are customized. So it is according to the wish of the customer. Means if you see equity or generally if you buy a share or something in stock market, so according to the lots availability, you have to buy, whether if the lot is bundled into 100 shares or 50 shares or 60 shares, so accordingly you have to buy. It is not customized. So like how if you see in commodity swaps, it is mentioned it is customized, means so it is according to the wish of the customer. The lot size can be determined. So based upon the wish of the customer, the lot size will be prescribed. Okay, and it is over the counter deal, often created through financial services companies. Usually financial services will do commodity swapping. We all have financial services, right? So financial services will look after these commodity swaps. So commodity swaps can be used to hedging can be possible through these commodity swaps, means you can minimize the risk. Hedging, so you can buy in one market and you can sell in other market, so you can do hedging and you can gain some profits, so you can minimize the risk. So commodity swaps can be used to hedge a market position and create a stable price point for buyer and seller. And here you can see how it will be a swap dealer and the end user. So fixed price and floating price again. So in all these things it will have fixed and floating rates. So whether one may pay at fixed price and other may pay at floating price. And one more, you can see the end user. Suppose if the end user is the swap dealer, and the financial services provided to the end user is a commodity producer, right? Here we can see the end user of the commodity and the swap dealer have entered into a commodity swap. Then what is going to exchange? Instead of fixed price, return on commodity will be exchanged instead of fixed price. So return on commodity will be exchanged in between the commodity producer and the swap dealer. So one will pay return on commodity and other will pay floating interest rate. So that is the example of this commodity for interest swaps. Okay, so this is generally commodity swaps. So this is commodity for interest swaps. So the commodity producer will pay based upon the return of the commodity. Okay, its valuation is as same as the forward contract. Okay, in pricing a commodity swap, it helps to think of a swap as a forward contract, thinking that it is at the money. We all know what is in the money, what is at the money, and what is out of the money. So in the money means if the cash flows are positive, at the money is if the cash flows are neutral, out of the money is the cash flows are negative, means the profits are negative over here. See, the pricing of a commodity swap can be understandable by thinking that the swap is a forward contract. So how a forward contract is calculated, so that can be implemented to this. And also we have to think that the swap of that forward contract is at the money, means the neutral situation, means the cash flows are neutral, so no profits and no losses. So then you can easily calculate the price and value of the commodity swap. Here we find fixed prices or floating prices. So based on that, interest rate swaps, currency swaps, and plain vanilla swaps uh, we can calculate. Means commodity swaps can be calculated as interest rate swaps. We know the formula for interest rate swaps. And commodity swaps can be calculated for currency swaps. We know the formula for currency swaps. And plain vanilla swaps. Plain vanilla swaps is nothing but here the currency rates, sorry, interest rates. The basic interest rate swap is nothing but a plain vanilla swap. Means one is selling at a fixed rate and other one is selling at a floating rate. So then means fixed to floating interest rate swap can be called as a plain vanilla swap, right? So by using those formulas we can get calculated the commodity swap. So no special formulas for commodity swap. By using, according to the situation, by using interest rate swaps you can use that formula, currency swaps and plain vanilla swaps. Okay, now let us see one more topic in that, that is swaption. So far we have discussed all the types of swaps, and now swaption. Swaption. By hearing the name, can you infer or can you interpret something from that word swaption? Have you heard that swaption? So means swap is nothing but it is a combination of two words, swap and an option, right? So the features of the swaps and the features of the options are clubbed together and formed a new financial instrument, which is nothing but swaption. Okay. So what is an option? First of all, before going to swaption, let us recollect an option. As swaps we discussed now itself. What is an option? Option is a financial instrument which is based on the underlying asset. Here, option is having an advantage for one in case of buyer and one in case of seller, right? So options are of two types. One is call option and other one is put option. Call option, for buyer there will be advantage. Buyer will have a right to buy but not the obligation in case of call option. In case of put option, the seller will have an advantage. Seller will have right to sell but not the obligation, means no condition would be there. So that by taking that thing and swap means interchanging or exchanging the financial instruments from one party to another party. So just clubbing these two features will get swaption. A swap is also known as swap option, which is refers to an option to enter into an interest rate swap or other type of swap. In exchange of option premium, the buyer gains the right but not the obligation to enter into specified swap agreement with the issuer on a specified future date. So it is as same as swaps, but here we'll have an advantage here. Will how swaps will work on. See how an interest rate swap will work. So swaption also work like that, but it is having an advantage. What is that advantage? Let's see. A swap came from, sorry, the types of swap. You can see payer of the swaption and receiver of the swaption. So in case of payer of the swaption, the payer of the swaption will have an advantage here. So right to purchase but no obligation. Okay. In case of the receiver of swaption, right to sell but no obligation. Just implementing options, types of options, call option and put option advantages in swap, then we will get swaption. Okay. Now, all these are all over the counter contracts, as clearly mentioned. Swaps are over the counter instruments, and options is having both standardized and OTC, exchange traded and OTC. In the features of options, we discussed that in earlier sessions. Options can be traded in both exchange and over the counter. So taking that feature and taking the feature of swaps, here these swaptions will be traded on OTC, means over the counter. So not in any of the stock exchanges. It is not standardized one. So there, if it is not standardized, so there will be risk. There will be some certain kinds of risk. Okay, that you need to remember. And let us see different types of swaps. So Bermudian swap, we have three types: European swap and American swap. I hope you remember European options and American options, same, that only we will implement here. Bermudian swaption. So in Bermudian swaption, the purchaser is not allowed to exercise the option. The purchaser is not allowed to exercise the option and enter into a specified swap on a predetermined set of specific dates. Means here, see, so once if a swap is purchased, the swaption is purchased, he is not allowed to exercise the option, right? He is not allowed to exercise the option and enter into specified swap on a predetermined set of specific dates, on a particular determined set, on a particular determined specific dates. So the purchaser cannot allow these cannot allowed or cannot exercise his option or cannot exercise his swap. That is a Bermudian swaption. Whereas European swaption, in the European swaption, the purchaser is only allowed to exercise the option and enter into swap on the expiration date. So means at the time of expiry date, at the time of expiration date only, he is able to exercise his option or enter into the swap. So on remaining days, suppose if it is 3 months, at the end of the third month expiry date only he can exercise it. In between these 3 months he cannot exercise it. That is an European swaption. And American swaption, the purchaser can exercise the option and enter into the swap on any day in between the origination of the swap and the expiry date. So between the starting and between the ending dates, at any time he can exercise. If he can exercise the option and can enter into the swap, that would be called at any time, can be called as an American swaption. If he is able to exercise his option and enter into the swap only on the expiry date, then that will be called as an European swaption. And a Bermudian swaption on a predetermined set of specific dates, if he is not, if the swaption is not allowed to exercise and to enter into the swap, then that would be called as a Bermudian swaption. Okay, hope you all understood these things. In this unit we have only few topics, that is swaps, about different types of swaps, how it is evolved, and interest rate swaps, currency swaps, and its structure, currency rates mechanism, how it converts liabilities and assets into another country, and pricing, equity swaps, pricing and valuing, commodity swaps, pricing and valuing its structure, and finally swaption. Okay, so hope you understood all these things. If you have any doubts, you can reach me. This is the end of the session and this is end of the unit. Thank you.